What's going on, collectors? Optical 20 for another video review. This time it's 300 from Figma. And you can purchase this figure at bigbadtoystore.com. Just click the link down below. It's not 1/6 scale. It's kind of small, really. I believe it's 1/12. It's from Good Smile Company from Figma. This is my first time actually branching out of 1/6 scale. So far, as far as this figure, it's okay, you know. I know there's other 1/6 scale of Leonidas, but I'm looking for one that's kind of cheap. You know, I didn't really want to overpay for the Hot Toys version, and I know there is a Star Ace version out there, but you know, just waiting for the response as well. So I purchased this at Big Bad Toy Store, just doing some random search for Leonidas, and you know, I saw this, and you can see here, this is one of those I guess inserts. You can cut out the black hole in there as well. And as far as the figure itself, it is okay. You know, maybe first time getting this. I'm not used to, you know, owning anything that's not 1/6. So I was kind of preparing myself for some disappointment, and there are a few disappointment, to be quite honest with you. I know there's other people who collects 1/12, you know, a smaller scale action figures. Some of them do look at 1/6 more of a dollish one, and to a degree I do agree with that. However, the quality, you can't really compare, even though, you know, we're doing some close-up shots here. This shield is not bad, but as you can see, the hands right there, it's not even comparable to even, let's say, Asmus collectibles. And on the back of the shield, you can actually remove these two brackets so he can hold the shield. Of course, the price is a third of a regular Hot Toys figure, much more so. I mean, if you buy the Leonidas figure from Hot Toys, which, you know, came out years ago, it is gonna cost you a lot of money. And with that being said, you know, you got you have two options. You got to buy the Star Ace, or you make your own, which is another option. With all the nice bodies right now that's being created, the silicone bodies, you know, the only, I guess, trouble I have with that is it doesn't match the paint app of the face to the body. But pertaining to this figure, you know, it comes with decent amount of accessories. He comes with this sword, which is not die cast. It's made out of plastic. If only my camera would focus. So you can see some nice paint application on everything here. You know, like the shield that you saw in the background. He has the spear. This sword right here, you can see some chipping of paint on. You know, this is distressed look for the sword, and you can take out, you don't insert it in a hand, kind of like a Hot Toys where they're kind of bendable fingers. Right there by the handle, you just take out, you know, one piece, and you can slide it into the hand. Now they included two helmets, one with this you know, this piece, kind of, I don't know what you call this, like a horsehair or something. I do love the movie 300. I like anything gladiator wise, you know, look. I know there are other 1/6 scale that makes this kind of figures, like the I don't know how to pronounce it, Pangea or something like that. It's not really 300, but I know they made one for Troy and some other, you know, Maximus. So the other helmet is if you want an army build. I don't know why you want to do that, but just in case you want 300 of these guys, you know, I can't even stand two, but yeah, that's what you're gonna use. And you can see this hair piece right next to it. It has some indentation, not indentation, but you can see some peg that you're gonna insert the helmet if you chose to do so. You have several looks that you can pull off with this figure, and he also comes with this nice cape, and it's cloth. I'm not liking the material that they used for the cloth. It's a bit puffy, but you know, there's a symbol right there as well. But you know, it is what it is. So like I said, you know, like if you are used to looking at Hot Toys 1/6 product, and then you jump into this. If it's the reverse one, I think it would have been a lot better for me. But there are no Hot Toys, products that I pre-ordered that's coming out in the next month or so. So I am having some sort of a withdrawal when it comes to figures. So I decided to jump on these. This is $74.99. I was like, okay, can't be, I know it's a third of the price of a normal Hot Toy, so let's go ahead and check it out. Am I disappointed? You're looking at the body right now. Sort of, I'm used to the quality of 1/6. Not even just Hot Toys. Hot Toys is in a league of their own, but there's Enterbay and Asmus, and I haven't seen Star Ace yet. But I'm kind of used to having nice details. I'm not saying this guy doesn't have any, but it's really not comparable when it comes to paint application, accessories. I did get Mezco, and I know that's another good name when it comes to 1/12 scale. So there's smaller scale action figures, and I did get one, which I am gonna go ahead and review maybe next. But that one is I have a bit more of a better experience than this guy. There's just a few frustration with him that I just want a Leonidas figure. That's all I wanted, and I figured I had such a good time with Enterbay 1/9. So I figured it so much so that I'm willing to, if there's a lot of 1/9 scale out there, because of the size, it's I think it's a perfect size. It's not too big, it's not too small. It doesn't feel like a doll, and it has the nice paint application of Enterbay as usual, and it's movable. It does come with all these joints which are visible. It's annoying sometimes, but I can certainly live with it. With this guy, I thought I was gonna get the same experience, but not quite so. You can see the hair right there. There's a lot of joints, kind of like the Enterbay. The stand itself is a problem. He won't hold still. You can see the gap on the neck, and I tried pushing it down as far as I could, but without trying to break it, and that's all I could do. You'll see some seam in there between the neck and the peg area. You can see on his bicep, there's no bicep swivel, but his arm, his shoulder area has joints in it, so you can go ahead and do so. There's some toe articulation, and as far as the head sculpt, it is decent, as you can see here, and we're superimposed right now. It's close up. Could it be better? Sure, but again, for the price, you can't really compare them to those high-end 1/6 scale. But it's not cheap either. I mean, it's $75. Make it $79, $80 if you factor in shipping. I don't know. It is there. You can see Gerald Butler. The beard is nicely painted. The eyes could be a little bit better. It's more cartoony for me. And also, I got the Mezco one, but it doesn't have a head sculpt. The one that I bought, that one, like I said, I have a bit more of a nicer experience. But as far as him, it's more like, okay, it's all right. I'll settle with it. Don't want to spend too much money, like I said. So this would kind of satisfy the craving that I have for Leonidas at the moment. As you can see here, he got the scar in his eye and the nice beard in there. And let's move it around again. Yeah, you can see his eyes. I think the eyes kind of killed the paint application on his nose area, and underneath his eye is not really what I would call polished. His beard and his hair, decent. The sculpt is decent. I can clearly see the nose. This is the angry sculpt where she has a cross eye. This is again. Not expecting top-notch quality here, but for the price, I guess it would do. Yeah, it's just kind of rough on those paint applications, especially in hand. Maybe not so much because we're super up close to him, so you can see him. This is more for what I'm gonna use because of the screaming head sculpt. It's just that, how do I say this? It's nice, you can play around with it, pose it. and without feeling bad, without feeling any guilt that, compared to the Hot Toys version. As you can see, the hair to the head is not flushed enough that you can see the seam there. But if you're taking photographs, if that's what you want to do, take videos, this is probably not the best option because of the seams, and overall it's not as great as the Star Ace ones. Star Ace one, I've seen previews, it looks like the body's made out of plastic. That's what's kind of holding me back. But if I ever get one, I just really want to check that out. The helmet is a nice touch. The paint application there is, I would say, pretty good, comparable to the higher end companies. Of course, the body, that kind of bothers me too. Look at that gap between the neck. Maybe I tried, guys. I tried pushing it down. Maybe if I try harder, maybe, but I can't imagine it being, really flushed out that you can't see any gaps in there. From the front, it's not too bad. You can't see anything. I can kind of understand from, movement wise, but man, that is just a big gap right there. Now this is him fully clothed and ready for battle with his nice cape. It has a nice flowing effect to it. I wish it was a little bit lighter because the cape is, it's a small figure, so I wish it was a little bit lighter so he can, the flow is so much better there. But also with the shield, once you insert the shield in his hand, sometimes it pops on, sometimes it pops it's a hit or miss, kind of like his legs. His legs are most annoying one for me. It just pops off for no reason whatsoever. I don't know what I was doing. And also the stand on his back, so supposedly on the stand you kind of just put it in there. That's why I don't have him in the stand on this poses, but he's super posable. That's the good thing about him, and you won't, like I said earlier, you won't feel guilty doing that, because with the Hot Toys one, it's the rubberized joints, so whenever you like bend the elbows and whatnot, you kind of cringe because it's not gonna last, because the quality control of Hot Toys. But I believe on the Star Ace ones, they do have a joint on the arms, so aesthetic wise it's not the most pleasing look, but it works if you are gonna do poses like this. And he just fell. Look at that, it's amazing. There you go. Let's put him right back up. So that's what happens when you don't have a stand, him holding the spear. So if you are more of a poser, and by that I mean like posing around your figure, this is the way to go. Try to avoid those seamless body, because from Hot Toys, even me myself, I've been collecting for quite some time now. I got Thor, who is in a museum pose, so anytime that my figure has a leather or pleather, so to speak, or those rubberized body, kind of like Gamora, I try to avoid. I would bend their elbows, for some photo ops, but other than that, I just feel bad, doing it, because you want to preserve the figures as long as you can in the long run, because they're not really cheap. They're expensive hobby, and you're always on the back of your mind that once you quit the hobby, you might want to recoup some of those investments, those money that you put in those figures. I put in like a jumping pose. His stand is versatile enough, it is long. You can bend it in so many ways that it kind of serves as a dynamic stand if it works. That's the problem, because unlike the Mezco one has some sort of a clip that you would clip on the waist or wherever it is that you seem fit. This guy only has that little bit of hole in the back, on his lower back, and you kind of insert the stand there, but it doesn't always work. Even though you try to balance his weight, from the middle, it still kind of tilts over, or the peg just slips out of the hole. That's just how it is, with the stand. And like I said, that's only one of the few, I guess, issues I have. He got some paint rubs on his knees because of the boots. it, you know, for $75, I guess I shouldn't be expecting a whole lot, or Hot Toys quality. It's just it's a bit difficult. But you know, if you got a post like this, take a picture, it is still pretty good. You know, it's a nice base right there. So, you know, is it gonna be my last 1/12 or 1/9? I would say no. Did I have an overall good experience with Figma? You know, considering the price that I bought it for, I was pretty okay with it. Am I gonna recommend it? Yeah, I wouldn't spend one on the Hot Toys, and it kind of, in the meantime, it satisfied my craving for Leonidas. I think I'm gonna check out Star Ace one of these days, but so far, it's okay. So if you want to purchase him, head over to Big Bad Toy Store. Just, you know, make sure you click my link. If you haven't done so, please subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And I would see you guys in the next review. And thank you for watching.